This where we catch a vibe. What's often overlooked is the strength that rise to occasions. The drive of a man pushed to limits is amazing. Taking how it comes, adjusting to all the changes. Hunger's just creating a man of so many faces. Judgment being passed, not understanding sacrifices. Instagram likes turn into a marriage crisis. Till you live it, you can't tell me a thing. Bobby Krill's March 5th is such a wonderful ring. See, I tried to leave, but then I fell apart. I learned it's easier to prosper when you play your part. Not chasing cloud, I'd rather just keep it genuine. Rapping in my basement is turning into percentages. Talking to myself is just speaking it to existence. Face so much resistance, I battle it with persistence. Failed so many times, I'm ready to go the distance. If you really just believe, your life could change in an instant, that's real. X Factor, how many really got it? That X Factor, turning passion into profit. Another day of living, I'm just happy to see. Be the change you wanna see, and I'm just happy it's me. Krills.
It's good, man. What's up? Man, it's been a little bit.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh man, how does this feel being back in the field, man? Monmouth. Where you got recruited, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think being back on any field, it feels great. You know what I mean? Just being back. But being back specifically on this field, I got a lot of memories of this field, spending time here, working out, practicing, coming to see games here. It's good, man. A lot of the changes that they made, it's just crazy seeing it all, man. It's been good.
Good. So I know when we spoken before, you know, your goals were, before getting here, you were preparing for this moment here, right? Obviously, through youth, with like you said, your mentor, Mr. Gums, right? And then going to work at, finishing your high school career at Barnum Carrick, right? That led you to here, right? So now that you made it here, right? You play. How many years you played here?
I don't know, barely one.
Barely one.
Yeah.
So all right, so let's walk through that season when you get recruited and then, like you just said, you barely made one season. Like, what happened?
Yeah, it's just kind of like the adult life, like grown man life kind of set in. So Monmouth has been recruiting me since I was 16. It's actually crazy. It started with you. We came down here for a 7-on-7. We played over there on the Great Lawn, it's called, and we had a great time. We had a lot of success, and through there, that's how they kind of got to know me, and they've been recruiting me ever since. And so it just didn't end up working out in terms of like my scholarship and then also the position that they wanted me to play.
Let's talk about that. So you got recruited to play what position?
Well, I played quarterback, you know what I mean? And so the entire time, when we were having the discussions during high school was, quarterback, but definitely receiver. I was never necessarily in their plans here for me to play quarterback. A lot of the other schools definitely, but here, quarterback was really never one of the options, but it was always receiver. They talked to me a little bit about DB, but it wasn't too much, because like if they would have been talking about DB, I wouldn't have been responding to them, But once I got here, it was all DB. Like at least my freshman year, like coming into it, it was all DB.
Bait and switch, huh?
And now that I understand how the game works, I wasn't the only one that they did that to. One of my roommates, they also did the same to, where the entire time, and then he got here for camp. And he got a different colored jersey in his, in his locker, and it's like, yo, you here now, and so it just kind of played out that way. But they ended up letting me play receiver a little bit, but honestly, I don't think I was ready for everything the way it played out, and giving up playing quarterback, and then what it was, starting at the bottom of the receiver totem pole. Like if there was 9 niggas, I was number 11.
Because the whole time let's think about, from youth, you were always playing quarterback, so you were always preparing for that position. So now you get to a level of where it's like high level competition.
Definitely.
Everyone is just as good or better.
Definitely.
And now they want you to play something different, where you really are good because you're a natural athlete, but that's not what you were preparing for, you know what I mean? And so, go ahead.
A lot of it also was the off the field stuff. That's something that I didn't understand.
Okay.
It's the off the field stuff. It's the eating, the nutrition, and then the weight room. That's what a lot of was. And I was in the weight room, but not like the way it is here. And so you just starting at the bottom. And then the other reality is the politics, right? So the receiver coach didn't necessarily recruit me to be in his room.
Correct.
So, you want him over here, you could throw him over here.
And let's talk about the receivers that you're now up against. At
that time, Miles had just left, so it was his last year. Miles Austin. His last year was my freshman year. Everybody knows him, went to the NFL. one of probably the best player to ever play here. But there was a couple guys that were in the receiver room with me. One of my roommates was one bigger guy, 6'2", 6'3". And what's more importantly, they had experience in the program. When you have experience, doing anything, it's a lot easier. So you know what to expect in terms of what we got to put up in the weight room, the hours we got to put in, then we got to come out here, the routines. And that was something that, me and my roommate, we were adjusting to. Waking up that
so
early
you weren't
in the
prepared
morning.
for that.
No, because the only way you can be prepared for it is, you get indoctrinated to it your freshman year, and I missed that. And a lot of it is just politics, right?
Yeah,
Like, you're not one of my guys, and so that's really what it came down to. Because what I'll say is there was only maybe about 2 or 3 guys that were just raw, like more talented than me. The rest of them, I was even more. We were on par. But the playbook. You're gonna put that work in the weight room, and then also, if you've been here, you've been here 2 or 3 years. Ain't nobody just gonna come, especially nobody that's skinny and little.
And
like
there was
that,
no one to really advocate for you because you really didn't get recruited for that position.
Nah. The guys that were recruiting me, my guy, he was a lineman coach here. He just had Middlesex County. Not necessarily. And that's just how it goes. Like, that's what I understand. That's how it goes. I would have had a lot more success, or at least like exposure, if I would have taken that jersey and came out to play corner. It just kind of is, it is what it is. But at that time, there was no way you was gonna get me playing corner against some of these guys this size. Like nah. But I definitely think that if I would have put my all into it, continue to focus, put the time in the weight room, in my playbook, and in the film room, I would have gotten a shot. I'm not even gonna say I would have been a starter. And not that I wasn't good enough to be a starter, but like the way it works is like, you've been here 3 or 4 years. If we winning, we don't necessarily need anybody else that's not. You know what I mean? And so I know that for a fact because my roommate, who's a better athlete than me, way taller, way bigger, he never sniffed the field. And it was because, and they were all over him. He was here to play one position, that was receiver. But with the off the field stuff, like, I was able to see, like, unless you contributing where if we don't need you, if we don't have you, we gonna lose, bro, you just another number out there.
I got you. So now let's talk about the transition, because that's the most important, right? Because obviously you create this huge work ethic as a kid going into your teens, right? That led you to Monmouth University. Not a lot of people get to play at a D1, D1 level school, playing a sport that they love.
Yeah.
So now that football is now over, talk to me how you took this work ethic and you transferred it into your now what you are as a in your career.
Yeah, I think that once I made that decision, and I permanently made the decision, it took me a little bit because I came here, I didn't play the fall, and then I came out for the spring. It was during spring ball, we were doing everything. But once I made that decision after my freshman year that this is not something that I was going to pursue anymore, a lot of the habits were still there. The routines were still there. Waking up in the morning, sacrificing, you know what I mean? Instead of sacrificing myself or making the sacrifice to be in the weight room or on the field, I put all that time in the library. I put all that time in the 24-hour labs. And so the routines and the habits were already ingrained in me. It's just that now I needed to channel it somewhere. It had to be somewhere that was going to be productive for me. And so I think where a lot of young men struggle when they got to put ball down. And I struggled for a little bit. Certainly I did. But when I didn't know how to do anything else, I knew how to work. And that's what came from Mr. Gums. That's what came from, going from McCarrick, where, they had never had no football success, to what we helped, accomplish there. But it was just now, and again, I didn't do it strategically. I just knew, I just can't sit around and be a bum. I'm going to put that work in. So I just spent time in the library.
So basically what you really did was you took what you lived in the weight room as a kid.
Definitely.
And the library became your new weight room.
No doubt about it. That's what it was, because, and I said it in the weight room a lot of times, if I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to get stronger. You know what I mean? And so if I don't know what I'm doing in terms of my major or in terms of what I want to do after college, I know I got these classes right here and I'm going to try to kill them. And so the competitiveness come out or whatever. And I was big at, there was a lot that was happening. You know what I mean? I was, transparently, I had just started smoking a lot of marijuana at that time. And my mom was against that. And so I just made a pact to myself that, like, I'm going to show her. She didn't want me smoking weed. She thought it was going to be bad. So I went overdrive with it, all my time in the library, to the point where when the semester I stopped playing football and the time I started smoking marijuana, I never not got the dean's list ever again. So, like, my last semester not on the dean's list was my last semester playing football. Because I wanted to make it a point that I was here for a reason. I wasn't just going to come down here and party and have fun and smoke. I was going to come down here, I was going to get a degree, but I was really going to make my mom, make my family proud. I remember when I got inducted into the National Honor Society, my mom came down, but she came down with Graham.
Yes.
And to see Graham down
who's
here.
Graham? Who's Graham?
Oh, our grandmother,
Yes.
Edna Jones. You know what I'm saying? So like that was a big deal for I remember my mom. It was a night. It was raining a little bit, and they came down and we sat up in I think it's Plangeria or whatever it used to be called, and to see the smile on my grandmother's face, you know, back in college, and my dad was kind of like the last one that graduated from all of us, and so it was a big deal, and I just wanted to continue to push that. And so, you know, when we was at McCarrick, they would all come out and watch us play on the field. Yeah. They couldn't all come out and see me go to the library, but they could have confidence that, you know, I was doing what I was needing to do, and I was going to get that degree, and not just the degree, but the, you know, the Dean's List and the Honor Society, and really turn it into something.
But, well, I mean, let's really think about that and reflect. All that, and look who you are right now. You are the VP of
employee relations,
employee relations, and what?
Legal compliance.
And legal compliance. And you work for one of the largest advertising firms in the country at the age of.
I got the job when I was 35, I want to say. Maybe I just turned 36 around that age. Yeah,
so there you go.
Yeah, man, listen, it's the same thing, man. It's the work. And especially going from HR now to legal, I had to put a lot of time in that library. I'm going to show you how the library soon, but like a lot of time into studying and understanding the grind, right? Understanding that, I heard somebody say, what is it? Fast don't last, but slow will make it grow.
Yeah.
That time of, going to the library every single night. And my roommates would tell you, going to that, once the library closed at 12, I would go to the lab and then just put that time in trying to figure out, you know, this English stuff, this Shakespeare stuff. And that's the same thing that happened when I graduated school and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I put that time in. I didn't have the library. I put that time in my mom's basement. I was actually working at the library here in Long Branch doing my internship. I'll put that time in. No lie, man. I would go in the back of the library, Long Branch Free Public Library, and get, once I understood I wanted to do HR, it was called HR for Dummies. You know, they got them for dummies books, it's black and yellow.
Yeah.
I got it, and I would just read and just read and you just read
and that's
you do
where
that.
it started.
And it's the same thing I did when I said, I want to go from HR to this legal thing, and just putting that time in.
So now that brings me to my next point, my last point, right? So HR, right? So I know your dad came from an HR background, right?
Definitely.
Did that have some type of influence on you? And then, yes, let's start.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody asks that question when they understand that I'm Bill's son and his background in recruiting and stuff. And so, no, it didn't have any impact on me, the truth be told. The reason why I got into HR, I wanted to do business. I wanted to wear suits. I wanted to work on Wall Street, and I had to get in.
But your dad did the same thing.
So he did recruiting, not necessarily HR. It's a part of HR, but my thing is this. The reason why I did HR
you
is
saw him in the suit and tie.
I saw Jeff in the suit and tie.
Okay.
I didn't necessarily see. I seen my dad sometimes when he worked for Canadian Furniture when he was a salesman, right?
Okay.
The man that I seen in suits, the reason why I wanted to wear suits was because of Jeff. I would see him every morning because we would have to go down to his house. He would take us to school late because he would be getting ready. And bro, he was suited and booted. And I said, no matter what I do, I want to look like that. And so that's really what it was. Like, I don't want to make more of it. It wasn't like some grand scheme or anything like that or anything. Maybe I think it's all God, but I didn't hear God during that time. I knew I wanted to wear suits. I wanted to dress up. I wanted to do business. So I just kind of did it simply. What can I do? I can't do accounting because you kind of need a background in it. Anybody could do marketing, but you kind of have to have that market to do the marketing. But which I didn't do. You have, the business administration. I didn't have that. HR, because it had to do with people. I said I could probably. That's the easiest way I can get my foot in the door. And then once I got my foot in the door there, it was similar to the Dean's List thing. I'm going to take this as high as I could possibly go.
So how do you feel, right, the fact that growing up as a kid that you were like, I want to look like that man, and that man wasn't your dad?
And to go back to something you said just in terms of the last one with my dad, I didn't realize it, but then once I got into it and I had success, I did kind of say maybe it's in my blood a little bit. I don't know, but I didn't want to say that. That's why it's really good.
So it crossed your mind?
It did after the fact. Everybody thinks I did it way after the fact because the truth of the matter is I didn't know my dad HR. I didn't know my dad NJ Transit. I was around, but by the time I kind of got of age, my dad was a salesman, and then unfortunately he was on the drugs, and so that's the Bill I remember. I definitely remember, him coming home some days, from work, but my memories that are vivid are him at the furniture spot, wheeling and dealing, and then going down to Graham House, things of that nature. But no, to answer your question in terms of Jeff, I just felt fortunate that I had somebody that was in my life that wanted to be in my life, and he felt it was okay for me and my brother to be in his life. So I didn't look at it like, oh man, that's not my dad. I didn't. I just felt because, you know, at that time, and you remember during that time, it was real. There was a lot that was happening, you know, and losing my dad, and then the very next summer we lost Aunt Pussy. There was a lot that was happening, and so I just felt fortunate that my mom was taking care of us, and I had Jeff. I didn't look at it like, oh, it's something that I didn't have. I was like, man, this guy is great. You know, he was doing so much for us. He was helping us out. But just having that, and this is how simple I really want to make it, is that I never even asked him, yo, what you do? I just said, I want to do that. And the way in which when he would step out, everybody would show him love, the clout he had, the reputation he had. But the one thing, being with him, he was always suited and booted. And if he wasn't in a certain tie suit, he was in a track suit, one of them windbreakers that make noise, but it matched. And then he had the matching sneakers and the matching red, blue, purple. You feel me?
So because of I'm sorry. When your father passed away, how did that make?
I think that it was difficult, obviously, right? Because, you know, I'm named after him. I'm his number 2, all that. But by that time, my father wasn't my dad by that time, and so it made it a little bit easier.
And what do you mean by that?
Because he was so out there, you know, on the drugs and trying to, you know, get himself together, but not get himself together, that, you know, he wasn't in our lives on a regular basis. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, it was certainly tragic and tough, but by then, it was easier for me to let him go than it would be for me to live and see my dad on drugs. I never forget one of the things, we was on bikes. I was like 12 or 13. I seen one of my friend's dads. He pulled up on us on a bike and he was strung out or whatever. He was asking us for money. And it was hard for me to see my man dad like that. And I know this sounds crazy, but it was easier for my dad to be dead than for me to, because that was going to be Bill. There was no doubt about it, pulling up, asking for money or whatever the case may be. And to see this guy go from this all the way up here, like the shining armor of the Jones Manley clan, to somebody that was, you know, strung out, it would have just been tough. And so it didn't have, I had kind of gotten over all that between 8 and 12. So by the time it happened, and we just celebrated his, he just died on Saturday. It was his 25th anniversary of my father passing. It's so crazy, it's been 25 years. But it wasn't as tough as you would imagine, as if it would have been if you died with your children or me or my child, right? Like, it just wasn't the same. And I also, I was, by necessity, I was a lot more mature at 12 and 13 than I had to. And some of that was because of my mom, but a lot of it was because of my dad. No lie, you know, and we got the podcast, we can keep it all 100 here. You know, my dad was taking me into a lot of places I shouldn't have been at 6 or 7 or 8 years old. My first strip club I went to, I think I was maybe 7 years old.
Really?
And then he left me. You feel what I'm saying?
At the strip club?
He left me outside.
Oh.
While he went in to go do his business or whatever. And so, like, going up to Newark, I remember I have so many memories of going to Newark before I even knew what it was. And now I know he was going up there to get his situation. And so being in the bathrooms with him where he was using the drugs, and you got to think about it. You got boys, you know that, you know, by the time they 6, 7, 8, they know what's going on. And we know we shouldn't be up in this urinal together. Me, him, and my Uncle T. You remember my Uncle T? That was his main man. And so, but I give you that as a reference, as to say, there was a lot that was happening around me that forced me to grow up. So by the time all that kind of happened, and then my mom got the divorce, and then we moved, I already knew what it was hitting for. And I kind of just felt fortunate that I was able to go down to Graham's house and see him, but I wasn't seeing him, I was seeing all of y'all. And so it just made it a little bit easier. But no, it was, listen, man, it was tough for me because my brother is my mom's favorite. They got a relationship that you can't do nothing with. But me and my dad, you know, we was close like that, but it just kind of is what it is. I looked at it like a grown man even at that point to say, hey, he made a decision to use these things and to live this life. That was the life he wanted to live. And so I'm gonna live my life or whatever. But the lasting impact that it had on me was I never really messed with no drugs. I did mess with, you know, marijuana, but I was always afraid of it because
of what you saw.
He smoked he never did drugs. He smoked marijuana, started doing some drinking some beer. My mom always tell the story. He asked me if I could do it, and my mom gave him the green light, and bruh, it was the worst green light ever. But I always had that in the back of my mind that, you know, I have an addict in my background, my heredity, my blood is, and I'm certainly an addict. I get addicted to things like HR or real estate or whatever, and I go crazy. So I never really wanted to. Certainly with the gambling and all that. But no, I never got involved in the substances because I knew that I saw what there is no. There's no upside to that. You know what I'm saying? Like the high is great, but like I saw really what that could do to a man, what that could do to a family, what that could do to a job, employment. And then also my brother and I, our futures were never the same because of some decisions he made. And so I just didn't want to go that route.
I got you. What do you think he would feel or think about your success right now as a man before 40?
I think that if he were alive, I wouldn't be doing this. I would be doing something different because he would have put, just like the same way you putting your sons on, it's not you telling your sons what to do, but it's you exposing your sons to different things and then seeing where they fit. So as again, I fell into HR because I wanted to get in how I could fit in. Whereas if I would have had him because of how brilliant he was and everybody renowned about how intelligent he was, I think that he would have introduced me to a lot of different things and I wouldn't necessarily, be here. I think that maybe I would have went into law, a lot sooner. But what would he say? I think that there's no doubt about it. He would be proud. I think that he would be happy. When I talk to my mom a lot, the biggest thing my mom could say is that, like, I'm proud to say that you're my son, right? Like when I talk to my uncles and they brag about me. And a lot of times it's what they see, what people see, right? But what they really bragging about is that work that I put in, the discipline, the sacrifice, so that they could see, oh, well, Will's doing this, Will's doing that. But that's what it is. He'll be happy, he'll be proud. But I would also expect for him to be a dad. And just like you're a dad where it's like, you doing it, but you can really be doing this. Or how about that? And the things that I miss is just that guidance in terms of, he was a really smart guy, smart man. And I think that when you're older and you have that wisdom, you can impart that wisdom upon the next generation so that they can build off of your, you always want your kids' basement to be your ceiling. So if this is my dad's thing, I feel like I kind of started like in his second level, whereas if I would have started here, it'd be something different. But you never know. It's the way it all kind of works out. But I know he would be proud. He would be happy. And if it wasn't for the drugs, the type of conversations that we would be having, people think that I'm really intelligent and this and that. And so they always tell me about how smart. It would be great if him and I could just have, father-son conversations, man-to-man conversations. But you know what it is that manly conversations. I never, besides my bro, I don't get to have them manly conversations, and M-A-N-L-E-Y with, with another manly. And so that's something that I would look forward to. But nah, man, he would be proud. And the father and I am separate, all the money and all this and that. Just the father I am, the person I am at church and all that, how I am in my community. And so yeah, but the reality is I know a lot of guys that grew up around their dads, that their dads also showed them a lot of stuff they shouldn't have been doing, and they ran with that. And so that's why, like, I can't really be, because I could look at him and be like, oh God, man, I would have this and that. The truth of the matter is I could have also had him and he could have showed me some stuff, or I could have did that. And so I just take the it's no longer good and bad, it's just what it is, and I just try to make the best of it as I can. And nobody care about once you get in them rooms, ain't nobody care about your background.
I got you. Because listen, I'm gonna end it like this. As I always say, I love having a conversation with you. You are, if you don't know what your gift is, it, at bare minimum is inspiring. Every time I speak with you or speak, I get inspired every single time. Like right now, you're in the process of wanting to up your career by going to law school.
Definitely. I'm
gonna be honest, like that made me want to do something. But in my mind, I'm not you, right? So what I'm doing is like, I got to just up what I'm doing, what I'm good at too. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to just say thank you. And I also want to say I'm proud of you, 100%. Like,
no, that means a lot, man.
Even from a kid to seeing your transformation as an adult and as a father and as a mentor, like, listen, at the end of the day, like, life is all about, growing and developing. If we're not learning, you're not growing, you're not developing. So as long as we're not making the same mistakes and we're reflecting, and then just every single time, making sure that we are the best versions of ourselves every single day. You know what I'm saying? Every single day, being the type of men, right, or the way we look like, or whatever the case may be, there's always an uphill battle, and that battle is sometimes a little steeper than others. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
no,
but
sure.
I just want everyone to see that this is a man in the corporate world who is tatted from the neck down, that holds a really high level job or career. He's responsible for how many employees at your job?
I'm responsible for a team of 5, but I'm responsible for about 5,400 in terms of the scope of of my role, and it just is what it is. I kind of look at it like you know, the only person you could be is yourself, right? Or you could try to be other people, but I really started to lean into being Will Manley, and not in a cocky way or in an egotistical way. I like reading. I leaned into it. I like helping people. I leaned into it. I love the Lord. I leaned into it. And so, you know, whether it be, you know, my skin color, my tats, my background, my dad, whatever the case may be, I'm using all that for God's glory. Yeah. It's a part of who I am. But again, I tell people all the time, like, you know, whether it be, you know, my appearance or whatever, this is what you get when you talk to me. So all of these things I put into this bottle, and that's when you meet with me, there's a saying that's like, what do you get? Me and John used to read about it. It's like when people bump into you, who you are, what spills out is who you really are. So if you all think when they bump into you, and I'm talking about like a bump in you, like what the heck? Well, when people bump into me, what's going to spill out is gratitude, is appreciation, is help, is, you know, humility, because of a lot of these things, you know, they may seem like I planned them and I did, but a lot of them really shook my way in times in which they, you know, I needed them to shake. But it's also allowed me to be very much humble and hungry, and that's why I help out people on a regular basis, whether it be their resume or interviewing or just giving them time out of the day, because somebody was willing to do that, you know, for me.
So you're saying that you offer some type of services, or just like on the side, help to people who are looking for guidance in the HR space, or for
any space at all, any space. Definitely, if you have, you know, if somebody wants to pursue HR, and I've helped out a lot of people with that because of my experience, but anybody that's just trying to break into the corporate world, need some help with their resume, their cover letter, interviewing, or just, you know, more recently, just questions at the job. Like, hey, my boss is saying this, or I feel like I'm being discriminated against. You know, that's my wheelhouse now. Anything along those lines, but I don't say on the side, because when there's a connotation that it's on the side that I'm making money. I do it completely free of charge. It's on me. It's what God gifted me. And so that's how I bring glory. That's how I glorify God, right? Is that paying it forward. You want to talk about inspiring and motivating, this and that. Like, it's that when I sit down with somebody, share my story, but it's not about me. It's about, you know, where they want to go. And we start to map that out literally from the resume to the job that they apply for. And that's how I got so close with John. And our relationship now is that, like, somebody that was in need, somebody that wanted to be helped. And that's what I'm here for.
Love it. Kaza, I love you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. Thank you.
I open my eyes, it's time to be great. The time has arrived, no time to be late. I pray for a chance, it finally came. If you from the bottom, you probably relate. Felt it for years, I know it's my fate. I could've just quit, but I'm happy I stayed. I feel the vibes, I know that they hate. They criticize me like I'm in the way. Hear what they say, we making a way, and I will be damned if they take it away. I remain focused and play every day. Turn up the music to take me away. What can you say? Know that it's real. I'ma keep grinding, don't care how you feel. Grinding for years, there's so many tears, and now is the time that I conquer my fears. I really want it, I really need it. Yeah, yeah. Describe all of the time I was looking for signs. So many nights I sat up and cried. Could've just quit, but I had to decide. Working a job, I'm living a lie. Something about music that keeps me alive. Went through depression cause I was deprived. Gotta break through if I'm trying to survive. Proof to the haters I'm not just a guy. No, I got talent, I gotta apply. Thought I was dead, but I just revived. I'm giving them something that they can't deny. Giving you love, I'm wishing you peace. The world that we live in, that's all that we need. We gotta have vision, we gotta foresee. We wanna rise, we gotta believe. I really want it, I really need it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.